This is your lesson on adding and subtracting decimals. Okay, our introduction is going to be this. It says you went shopping at American Eagle this past weekend. If you spent $43.28 on the clothes you bought and paid with a $100 bill, how much change did you get back? Okay, you can work it out right there on the slide on your notes. You can pause the video and work it out. When you're done, you can start the video back up. Okay, where do you see decimals in real life? Okay, in real life, you see decimals with money. That's the most common one. With your grades, whenever you are running a race, your times in track, that's how it was in the Olympics. What else? You can think of anything else in your everyday life, you can write it down on this page. Okay, so real quick, we are going to start our lesson. Today, you will be able to add and subtract decimals. Okay, you learned this last year, so should be pretty much a review. So our example says, your parents took you out to dinner at Olive Garden to celebrate your birthday. You ordered spaghetti for $10.99, a Coke for $2.50, and chocolate cake for $6. How much did you spend all together on your meal? Okay, all together tells us that you are going to add. Remember, when you are adding decimals, you line up the decimals. So you have $10.99 plus $2.50 plus $6. Remember, you line up the decimals, and if you don't see a decimal in the number, it goes at the end. You can add 2 zeros as the placeholders. Okay, bring your decimals straight down. 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 6 plus 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. 1 plus 0 is 1. So all together, your parents spent $19.49 on your dinner. Okay? You guys can try this next one on your own. Well, sorry. So, looking at that, with the introduction problem, says you spent $43.28, but you paid with a $100 bill. So subtracting is just like adding, so you're going to line up your decimals. Again, if you don't see a decimal in the number, it goes at the end. And you're going to subtract 100 minus $43.28. You can add zeros as placeholders. Bring your decimals straight down. You have to borrow all the way from the 1. Borrow. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 3 is 6. 9 minus 4 is 5. So the change that you would get back for this problem is $56.72. Remember, when you're adding and subtracting decimals, you line up the decimals. Okay, so let's do some more examples. I have 26 and 4/10 plus 15 and 9/100 plus 30. Remember, your decimal goes at the end if you don't see it. Okay, then you can add a 0 as a placeholder here. Bring your decimal straight down. 9 plus 0 is 9. 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 5 is 11. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. So the answer to this problem is 71 and 49/100. Okay. Try this next one on your own. You can pause the video and then check it. Question says, Ron finished his first lap in the 200 meters freestyle event in 28 and 76/100 seconds. He completed his second lap in 30 and 17/100 seconds. How much did his time increase on the second lap? So you just want to figure out what the change is from the first lap to the second lap. So this is a subtraction problem. You are going to subtract 30 and 17/100 minus 28 and 76/100. Bring your decimal straight down. 7 minus 6 is 1. You can't take away 8 from 0, so you're going to borrow. And 11 minus 7 is 4. 9 minus 8 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. So the answer for this is 1 and 4100 seconds. Make sure that you do have the correct answer down. If you need to copy this down, you can pause the video and copy it down. Let's do our next one. 275 minus 84 and 36 hundredths. Remember, the decimal goes at the end of any number if you do not see it. So you have decimal and 2 zeros. Minus 84 and 36 hundredths. Bring your decimal straight down. Borrow from the 5. Borrow and borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 3 is 6. 4 minus 4 is 0. So we're going to borrow from the 2 to get 17. 17 minus 8 is 9. 1 minus 0 is 1. So the answer to this problem is 190 and 64 hundredths. Try this next one on your own. You can pause the video. Okay, it says Ava owns a deli and buys fruit in bulk. Today she bought 12 9/10 pounds of apples, 6 pounds of strawberries, 8 7/100 pounds of grapes, and 15 2/10 pounds of oranges. How many pounds of fruit did she buy all together? Again, all together means add, so you're going to add all of these numbers. 12 9/10 plus 6 plus 8 7/100 plus 15 2/10. Remember to line up your decimals. If you don't see a decimal in the number, it goes at the end. 15 2/10 plus 8 7/100. If you need to add in zeros as placeholders, you can do that. 7 plus 0, since I ran out of room, well, I'll write it here and then I'll rewrite it. 7 plus 0 is 7. 9 plus 2 is 11. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 6 is 9. Plus 5 is 14. Plus 8 is 22. So you have 2 and 2. 2 plus 1 is 4. So the total amount of fruit that she bought is 42 17/100 pounds of fruit. Okay. If you need to pause it and work this out and copy down the correct answers, you can do that. Okay. Last one. Try it on your own. Pause the video and then check. In 1999, 143 8/10 million bushels of corn were grown in the U.S. In 2000, 169 83/100 million bushels were grown. How much more corn was grown in 2000 than in 1999? If you want to figure out how much more was grown, you are going to subtract 169 83/100 minus 143 8/10. Notice my decimals are lined up, and I add a 0 as a placeholder. So you get 3062. The answer is 26 3/100 bushels of corn were grown in 2000. Or that was the difference between those two. Okay, if you need to pause the video and rework or rewatch anything to understand, you can. If you are done, you can go on step 2. If you have any questions for me, you can come ask me.